Wow, where do I begin? Let's just say the struggle is real. Let's get into it. Story of Bound by Flame. You are a mercenary possessed by the Flame Demon in an ambitious dark fantasy universe. As a victim of a demonic influence, players will have the choice between the power offered by the evils or by good. If you choose to use your powers for demonic purposes, you will be influenced by demons, and this will manifest itself and a display on your body, making you look more ferocious and more evil. If you choose, however, to do good things with your powers, you will be rewarded with heroic traits and talents and upgrades. Depending on what you choose to do in this game affects the power you possess as you carry along, and it reflects itself in the transformation physically shown on the hero's body. Now, there's a lot of things I have to say about this, so I'm just going to start off with naming a few good things about the game. There are some cool parts in this game, like the part where your main character receives his actual power, which isn't right away, but of course it happens very soon. That was pretty cool watching it happen. They also give you a lock-on feature in this game, which without would have made this game completely and utterly a mess. So you will be, however, thankful that you have this, and you will be using it quite a bit in this game. At least I found myself using it quite a bit. Boss battles come off as epic at first and get you really hyped for a good fight. And it actually carries the game and keeps you playing. Now the bad. One thing I had noticed right away in this game, and unfortunately I'm gonna have to say a couple of things about the development of this game, is the voice acting. The voice acting is just awful. At times in conversation it seems to drag out so bad that they revert to cursing just to save you from losing boredom and interest. And I mean, the way they drop curses in this game clearly appeals to the immature viewers and players, because there's no reason for so much cursing.
You lot are about as discreet as a herd of hunchbacks.
I thought that elves were supposed to have superior eyesight. Do we look like stiffs to you, dickhead?
All right, we'll see you in the village. No dicking around, Vulcan.
No dicking around, Captain.
I found myself at times dozing off and just hearing curses and waking up to go, oh, okay, they're still talking. Another feature in this game that started out like it could have been a good thing but ended up being very boring right away was the feature to craft. You actually have a feature to craft things in this game to help you advance, and the mechanics behind it were really bad. It was a great idea and it does help to progress in the game, but it's just boring. It's so simple and bland that I found myself bored after actually just trying it one time. The only use I saw for it that was useful was the ability to craft items and add them to your inventory to increase your armor or your weapon. Some other cool features in this game I found were the ability to change your character types. Now in most games when you pick a character type, you're either stuck with that character type or you have to find some way to switch your character types over. In this game, however, they give you an option right off the controller to switch from one character type to another. You start off as a basic mercenary, of course, who wields a sword, axe, or a hammer. And as you progress, you learn how to do things like become stealth rangers, where you can dual weapons, or even becoming a pyromancer, where you can learn to cast spells. I found that to be quite interesting. However, the control scheme made it a bit of a struggle to carry on doing this. The controls continue to feel like the game developers were caught up in a struggle, making up their mind what the game should feel like. There was a lot of unnecessary schemes in the control and layout that made it feel like I should have just put the controller down and went and got a keyboard. A good example of poor schemes is right here. Figuring out simple tasks like switching my character type was a super constant struggle and had a learning curve to it, and something that was barely referred to enough for me to remember. And I actually have found myself taking time to sit in the corner and figure out some of the functionalities of the controller. Graphics. Well, the graphics, unfortunately, once again, are caught up in that everyday struggle of trying to stay modern, where it feels like you're playing a game from way back in the day, and they may have redid it in HD, because a lot of the textures felt bland. Even on PC, I found myself desiring more from the backgrounds and noticing that there was hardly any details in any of the textures. I was really confused as to why it looked like that, because it would have probably saved the game a lot more and kept it more interesting. But when you walk through a forest and you can't tell where you're going because textures all mushed and mashed and blended in, it becomes a struggle to stay interested in continuing on.
I'm burning.
Overall, this game is not a bad game. Considering the price, it may be recommended that you don't buy it, but rent this game and try it out. If you want a hack and slash RPG game, then you might want to play it. But overall, I have to say I would skip this game, because maybe a couple of updates down the line it may be better. But I feel like if a game needs updates, then it's not a good game. However, I'll give this an overall rating of a 2.0. This is Jimmy, and I be gaming.